What's goody? We back, respected Tilt, here for another podcast. You got me, the Great Robino. You got that boy, Flyman, and then you got JT. Go ahead and say something to the peoples.
Say something to the people, you say.
Yeah.
That
What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up?
Yeah.
What's happening? We staying beautiful out here?
you already know we ugly.
Oh?
I was about to say always and forever, but then JT out of nowhere.
No, we beautiful people. We're just ordinary people.
Is that John Legend? Did I hear John Legend on the mic?
Yes, you did. Anywho,
Yeah, anywho.
what
we
that
about
topic?
to talk about some interesting side pieces, as in side characters in anime.
No, you mean actual side piece. Don't get it.
You mean women?
I didn't say that. Don't put
Talking about
don't put that on me.
Robino out here.
Don't put that on me.
Robino got 50 views. He out here.
But we talking about side characters that are pretty interesting, and in some cases are more interesting than the main character. So what y'all got on that?
Hey man. The way this topic came about was Flyman asked the group, and he was like, "Man, do y'all like Deku?" Just I'm paraphrasing, of course. He was like, "Do y'all think Deku's interesting?" And then we continued to talk about how a lot of the other characters seem a lot more interesting than him, because he just seems like an ordinary dude compared to a guy like Todoroki, who has two powers, and his dad is the number 2 hero, and so on and so forth.
You're not my dad.
Well, I was just thinking, right, how in anime, I feel like almost the main character is like easy to get around, and their backstory is like easy, and you're like, you feel like some level of sympathy, and you're like, okay, yeah, I can get behind this person. They're pretty easygoing. They got like a easy personality, but then the people around them are always like, I don't know, super interesting, perhaps even more interesting than the main character. I can think of prime example, if you ask me. I think Vegeta is way more interesting than Goku. But that's not to say that Goku sucks, okay? But Goku is dumb. He's simple. And all he knows is to fight, and he loves to fight, okay? Yes, he's got a good heart, and you know, he gets stronger and stronger physically, right? He never gets smarter and smarter, okay? He gets stronger and stronger. In my opinion, I think Vegeta has like always like steadily grown throughout the whole series, and always like evolved in ways. He went from being the evil prince of all Saiyans to being an anti-hero, pretty much, to being a full-on hero, then to being a family man, then to being like Goku's rival, pretty much.
Hey, I
And
think that was because Bulma was out there laying it down.
You might be
Thought
right.
Bulma had him in check.
Bulma did have him in check, though.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I think Gohan was about even more interesting for a second than Goku for a second, but Gohan, of course, didn't.
Hey man, you just wanted to be a regular boy, like Pinocchio.
Gohan didn't meet his potential. I mean, okay, and then you got All Might. All Might, in my opinion, is way more interesting than Deku. It's like Deku is just, I want to say he's like one dimensional, right? Deku is like, but he's one dimensional with good traits, right? He's not like two dimensional like Bakugo, where you could feel like Bakugo could like potentially fight for evil at one point, or like his hot streak or his anger might get the best of him. You know what I mean? Like I get that sense from Bakugo, but with Deku, you're like, oh well, this guy's just way too pure-hearted and stuff. And I'm not saying like, I'm sure he has. I'm trying to think if he has any more like characteristics that aren't like one-dimensional or multi-layered, but the first ones that jump to me is that, you know, he's pretty. The only thing he did was what, self-sacrifice his body a little bit and was a little reckless.
I mean,
Too hard.
that was more than a little bit.
It was, yeah.
Right. So I mean, All Might is more interesting. Todoroki is more interesting. Bakugo is more interesting. I mean, the main villain is a little bit more interesting. The decay guy. I can't always pronounce his name right.
Oh,
Tomura?
Shigaraki.
Yeah, tomorrow. And then Endeavor. I mean, the last episode just put even more layers on Endeavor. And you're like, okay, Endeavor's out here trying to change, right?
Yeah,
Type
he was
stuff.
secretly an onion.
Right. So I feel like who's another one? I don't know. There's a lot. Somebody. Oh, I know.
What you think
I
about
gotta-
Stain?
Stain? Yeah, Stain was interesting. We just don't. We haven't seen enough of him, I don't think, to like engage what more he could do. I think he had interesting views, like way other interesting views. Because I also thought about this too. Because my cousin, he was like, "Hey, do you think Deku would ever have like an evil streak or a mean streak in him?" Because when he were fighting Gentle Criminal, they were like, you know, how Gentle Criminal was like denied going to the school and things like that, and that kind of caused him to go to turn to crime and stuff like that or whatever, quote unquote crime. But anyways, I was like, I don't think Deku would have ever happened to him, because he never would have gave up. You know what I mean? And I don't think he never would have lost sight, which is very noble, right? But is that very human? You know what I mean? He's like almost too perfect. Besides him being reckless.
I will say, in the latest episode, we did see that last scene where he kind of channeled the Avatar and he saw all the other people who had One for All. So maybe down the line we're gonna add more layers to Deku too. But
Well, that's the thing, right? That doesn't make his character more interesting. That makes his powers, which are attached to him, more interesting. I don't think that makes.
oh, you're saying like his overall general personality?
Yes.
Oh, I thought like you were just trying to like take everything into consideration.
Well, yeah, his powers are, I mean, by default, the most interesting aspect to him. You know, because, I mean, that's what I'm most interested in about. But I mean, other than like if we're talking about his character, he's not that interesting. Him overall, yes, he's interesting because his powers and the potential of his powers are super interesting. Same with like Goku, right? Goku personality level is not all that interesting, and that's fine. He's enjoyable, right? You can enjoy Goku. He's fun to watch and see or whatever. But the only thing interesting about Goku is him fighting and his power, right? And I feel like here goes another one I got for you guys, what I think is more interesting than the main character. Killua and Gon. I think Killua was way more interesting than Gon.
I was thinking that too, because Gon's just a kid who wants to find his dad.
Right.
He, he really doesn't have a whole lot to him other than he's childish. You know, he's not very mature. He hasn't seen a lot of the world. He has very humble beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
The only person that's related to him that is like outside of that island is his dad, whereas Killua comes from a family of assassins.
Again, and that's what I'm thinking, right?
See, you just gotta wait for him to stop wearing the booty shorts.
But that's what I'm thinking. Like, is that on purpose, where they make the main character sort of, I don't know, easily accessible to serve as like a means to relate to and to better view like the world around them. You know what I mean? Because
I think
like you said, Gon is like so. I mean, he's basically an everyday humble kid, like everyday man, right? It's something you could easily latch on to and attach to. Same with like Deku, right? He's easy to attach to and feel sympathy for because everybody around him has powers, and like you could tell, like he has a good heart, right?
What? I think that you don't want to make the main character too interesting though, because then if the main character is so interesting where you only care about him, when other interesting side characters come up, you're gonna be like, oh, that's not as good as the main character, even though they may be just as good or maybe a little under that. You're not gonna care as much because the main character is the one that has all the focus.
Yeah.
I think the general way like stories are told, kind of like what we learned in school, like the formulaic way of developing a hero is that they make them almost incredibly simple to the point where their whole journey is about them improving. So I think that's might be a reason why. Because if you look at guys like Gon who had nothing, you think of guys like Deku who had nothing. The whole series is based around them becoming stronger and becoming better. So I think that's just generally how most epic tales are told.
Yeah,
And even,
I mean, especially with Deku, because at the beginning of the very beginning of the series, he said this is the story about how I became number one.
Yeah.
Well, there's a very popular, I guess you could say, it's like a story format, and it's called the hero's journey. Yeah, I can, as I'm thinking about it, literally almost every shonen anime
Right.
loosely based off of the hero's journey.
Exactly.
Journey.
Look at One Piece too. That man
Right.
Luffy. I mean, they gave him backstory after like what 800 episodes or so, but he's pretty much started off the same. He just wanted to go and see the world and become the world's best pirate.
He's like, I'm gonna go where this hat takes me.
Yeah, outside of that, there's not a whole lot to his character in general, and there's a whole plethora of people around him who are a lot more interesting.
Man, realization. I'm now thinking back to like some of the main characters that I loved in stories and how they're probably not all that interesting now. In hindsight, when you think about the context of what they're surrounded by.
Mm-hmm. And I think another piece of it is like, since the whole story is based around them, we may become desensitized to some of the heroic things that they do. You know what I mean? Just because at that point it just seems like it seems very normal to us that they should be doing things like that.
Right.
Another person that I had that I thought was more interesting was I said any other Pokemon other than Pikachu. Way more interesting.
I agree.
That man had Pikachu the entire series.
Maybe the one thing that he didn't want to go in the ball.
And everyone knows how, like, maybe D tier Pikachu is as a Pokemon. like all you have to do is just evolve it to Raichu, and then it's instantly way better than.
I always remember that episode where he didn't involve Pikachu into Raichu because he felt like Pikachu would change or something like that. And I was like, bro, that's whack. Raichu is way stronger.
And like that's the whole point of the show. Gotta catch them all, and then he says you gotta evolve them all, something like that. I don't remember how the song goes exactly, but that's all part of the Pokemon world. And he never took Pikachu out the party either. Pikachu was always in the party, always taking up a slot. Made no sense. And somehow Pikachu was taking a really strong Pokemon, and made absolutely zero sense.
It's definitely way out of whack, the power scale.
Exactly. They just don't give a damn about stats on the anime.
See, so
Another
then
interesting.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say another interesting character is Captain Levi, Attack on Titan. But I just got tired of listening to that man Aaron cry and yell and scream and be mad that first season or so. He got a lot better as the show went on, but as we saw him get better, we saw Levi take on the Beast Titan, and he almost beat it single-handedly.
See, but
It's
what
funny.
about Levi though? Like he doesn't. There isn't really a whole lot to him besides until you get to his backstory, because he's actually pretty quiet. He just be hamming on people.
I think that's my thing. Like I don't only look at personality as interest, I guess. Like because I mean, I don't take that against him because the way he grew up, you know, it's pretty clear why he doesn't talk a whole lot.
See, yeah, I think
But-
I like Sasha, Potato Girl.
Yeah,
She's like the comic relief.
yeah.
Like
But
they're still
it's
new.
funny seeing Levi put on that maid outfit and clean the house and be like, "Hey, y'all gotta keep this house clean. Bunch of kids acting a fool. Gotta keep this house clean."
You also got Rainer, however you say his name, Reiner.
Yeah,
Reiner, yeah.
is it
Like he has those mental problems.
Yeah, he be freaking out.
Yeah, because they've been faking for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, that was a crazy thing to say. Wasn't that a meme? I think that was a meme format. Anyways,
Oh, you're talking
Anybody got
about? I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah,
When Erwin walks up and asks like some question and then says that, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, okay, who do you think is more interesting, Naruto or Sasuke?
I mean, they're both very stereotypical characters in anime. You got the main guy who's kind of funny. And you got the strong, silent type.
Well, in the beginning with Sasuke, it's like I'm here to avenge my family and kill the one person who did all this to me, and you're like, dang, what happened? And then
Right.
Naruto, he's like, I don't got a mama or dad.
I'm an
I'm
orphan.
all alone.
I'm
It's
an
like
orphan
right off
and
the
I have
bat,
a tailed
he doesn't
beast
have
in my
much.
body.
Yeah.
I personally like Naruto more.
I think you're right. In the beginning, Sasuke was kind of a little bit more interesting, but as the series went on, I think you fall more and more in love with Naruto. So,
See, but what about that drunk Rock Lee?
right. I honestly, I thought who was more interesting than Sasuke and Naruto from the beginning was Kakashi, but
Yeah, I was about to say, Kakashi, that's who I had as one of the more interesting characters, but there's not a whole lot to him either.
He just be
Yeah, I mean-
reading dry as books.
Uh-huh.
but the issue with Kakashi is you don't learn half of his backstory until I mean, like Shippuden. That's when it really gets dope.
Like the end of it, right?
It's
Right.
really close to the end because they're talking about Obito. It was literally in an Obito flashback. Like talk about Kakashi's dad. Because Obito was like, why does Kakashi act like this? And Naruto's dad was like, yeah, his dad died because or got exiled because he saved his troop instead of prioritizing the mission or something like that. I'm like, dang, that's whack. I would say Naruto has a lot of interesting characters though, so it's one of those ones that just is overflowing with cool characters. Like,
Naruto is.
mhm.
See,
Even in the very first season when they fought that man boy or that girl boy, what do you call Haku?
Haku?
Yeah, and Zabuza, their whole
that
situation was
man
great.
Yeah.
You know what I never got though? Why did those first people they fight? Why did that reverberate throughout the whole series? You know what I mean? Like even Shippuden at sometimes there's always some sort of like connection.
Tie back to
Here,
Zabuza.
yeah.
Well, in a way, that was their first major mission, though.
Mhm. And it was supposed to only be like what, a C tier mission?
Is it like a poetic thing?
Perhaps.
That was when they realized that, dang, we in a ninja world.
Yeah,
It's real out here.
Yeah. The ninja life ain't as fun as just getting strong. It's for real people dying. And it's not even like just ordinary bad people dying. Like, you're not just fighting out villains that have no motives. They actually are like human beings that are fighting for something too.
Yeah.
What
Switch
other ones you
up.
guys got?
Switch up. What about that man Zenitsu in Demon Slayer? Zenitsu and Inosuke.
Yes, sir, man. I mean, I don't really. I think Inosuke is funny. I just don't. I just don't think he's as funny as Zenitsu.
Inosuke is like a Asta in a way from Black Clover because he's always yelling.
See, the funny thing is about the Demon Slayer crew is like, I feel like each one of them are kind of bare. Like they play like a certain stereotype, but when they're all the thing that's gold about them is that they play so well off each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I enjoy the most. when they finally did link up, I just kind of enjoyed how like all of them together were, like a lot of fun. Like, Tanjiro is like the classic. Tanjiro's kind of like the classic, hero won't give up a fight type of deal.
Do you include Nezuko in that with all of them together?
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't say much, but I feel like I still want to see more of her. But I mean, she's again an easy character to get behind, and I'm super interested in like. She's just super interesting because of her demon powers and what's up with that.
Mm-hmm. I think another formulaic thing is that the main character pretty much has one goal in mind, like immediately, and that's pretty much their entire incentive of the whole entire show. So, like Demon Slayer, Tanjiro's main goal is just to figure out how to get Nezuko back to being human. Naruto wants to be the Hokage. Gon wants to meet his dad. Stuff like that.
But the funny thing is, like, they always get sidetracked doing other
right.
stuff. That's like, I feel like they should meet that goal and then move on to the next goal or something like that. Or they should maybe not have a goal in the beginning and the goal gets revealed more on and on as the series goes. I could think things like Yu Yu and Cowboy and stuff like that, where like it was kind of like the fun thing of the week every week. And, it was a lot of fun, but then like the greater story kept like slowly revealing itself. I think that's how Parasite was too. I felt like that was more engaging because like I don't know. I feel like watching something for so long and be like, damn man, when are they gonna get to? When Gon gonna find his dad? When Dada's gonna,
Yeah.
You're just sitting there like, man, I don't think his dad exists.
Right. Exactly. What other ones we got, fellas? Throw them at me.
I know. I was gonna say Fate Zero.
Man, none of us know none of them.
You see Fate Zero.
But Rob,
you know.
Let him talk. Let him talk. What you got on Fate?
I mean, in Fate Zero, I guess you know who the main character is. I guess the Master of Saber would be the main character, and then pretty much everybody else is a side character. Because it's 7 masters, 7 servants, so it's kind of a lot. All the different masters have their own motives for being in the Grail War. Maybe the less interesting one is like the Master of Archer. He kind of just there as like a lord, but like all the other people, they have interesting things. Like Berserker's Master, he's trying to save the daughter of somebody else's wife that he likes.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, if I get into this Grail War, you gonna let her go? He's like, if you win that war, I'm gonna let her go. He's like, alright, bet.
And he don't win, do we?
Hey, it's tough out here.
Oh, that's so sad.
You want to know an interesting anime where it's kind of hard to pinpoint a main character? What was that one that it was like Zodiac Wars or something?
Junie Tyson.
Yeah, Junie Tyson. Where it's like each episode was a was an exposition of each character, and there really was a main character,
Yeah,
but they all had like some type of backstory.
it was kind of following the Fate Battle Royale type formula,
Right,
where it's like
right.
it's 12 different people because it's the different zodiacs.
Mm.
And in the beginning, you think somebody's the main character,
Right.
and then you're like, oh wait, hold on.
And then they end up getting killed. And then you get to the very last episode, and you're like, "Well, he hasn't been there all the time, really."
He was technically the main character, wasn't he?
Yeah, you'd consider him the main character, but I don't find him interesting at all. I find any of the other characters in that show were way more interesting than him.
Yeah.
He just wanted to sleep. He gets one wish. He wished to forget. And I was like, what kind of wish was that? And then he just continued to fall asleep in class. How about that man Colonel Mustang though?
I don't think he's
Mustang
more.
was out in the streets. I really like Ed.
Yeah, I don't think he's more interesting, but I think he's probably one of the strongest side characters to exist.
That man
Like,
Mustang was just cool.
I don't know. I think I like the brothers a lot. But I guess you're right. Admittedly, I guess you feel more for Ed, and Alphonse, especially since he's in the pseudo armor,
Mm.
stuff like that.
I
But
like the envy.
yeah,
That man was literally
I mean-
envious of everybody.
Yeah,
I mean, the issue is that I think Full Metal Alchemist is just filled with strong characters.
yeah.
The whole show.
Pretty fleshed out.
What-
Even
what-
even gluttony.
I mean, no, not him. But
My man just trying to eat.
the only ones that weren't that interesting were Gluttony and Sloth. But all the other ones were like very
I forgot who Sloth was.
Sloth, wasn't he the one that was just burrowing through the ground constantly?
yeah.
That big dude.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just kept burrowing through the ground until somebody told him to do something, didn't they?
Yeah, something like that. I haven't seen him in a while.
Right.
Do you think
Oh.
there's a more interesting character than Meliodas from Seven Deadly Sins?
Who is?
Do you think there is one? Because when I think about all of them, yeah, they all have interesting backstories except for Dion. Her story is trash. But I think Meliodas is still one of the most interesting characters. I consider him the main character over Elizabeth.
You said except for who? Whose story was trash?
Dion.
Oh, yeah.
She was just a giant that couldn't remember things because of King. King kept wiping her memory.
What about Merlin though?
We don't know a lot about Merlin yet.
Yeah, that's like the mystery about her.
Yeah.
How can somebody be like? I can't be super engrossed. I mean, I don't know. I guess you can. That's the intrigue, right? You're intrigued by her. I wouldn't say she's more interesting. Like she's better than anyone at the Muffin Town. She's interesting, and you want to see more. I don't think I'm sold on her yet. I think you're right though. I think they're all pretty equal in their levels of interestingness, honestly. But I think Meliodas is probably stronger. I don't know. I don't really like Meliodas. I don't really like Meliodas.
His grabby.
Yeah, that's kind of stupid, and I roll my eyes at that. But other than that, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, you know you gotta get that fire force. You know how much that's in like that Fire Force.
Yeah, I like
That
Fire
too.
Force.
Fire Force and Soul Eater, because the guy made both of them.
Mm-hmm. Who would you consider to be the main character in Soul Eater? What's her name?
Maki or Maka.
Yeah,
Maki is Fire Force.
yeah.
Maka is Soul Eater.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, she would be the main. Would you consider her and her Scythe to be the main characters collectively?
I consider Maka more the main character than Soul, even though Soul's
Right.
name isn't Soul Eater.
I mean, the show name after him.
Hey, but what about Excalibur though?
Excalibur is my favorite character. He's funny. Well, he's strong too. It's just that he's too annoying that no one wants to use him.
Yeah, I know my favorite character is Medusa. Like she was out
Yeah.
there doing it. I think she was better than her sister as a
Yeah.
villain.
Her sister's kind of annoying.
Her sister kind of just sat there in her little. Was she in a castle or something? Wherever she was, she just sat there. Medusa went out there and did things.
Mm-hmm. She's actually trying.
Then on the other side in Fire Force, you got Maki out here thinking everybody calling her a Cyclops gorilla.
I like Maki because she. I don't know. I like her how she has her ability, but she's still very physically capable outside of that. And then you have the captain who has no powers, but
He be hitting them
he's
weights.
Captain America, basically. He's legit Captain America. He just lifts weights. He goes into trouble without like considering his own like body. He's just
Yeah.
really beat out there.
He ain't scared.
Yeah. But the main character is interesting too, though, because the way his whole thing is, everyone called him Demon because they thought that he burned down his entire family. But there's more to that story, and him himself. I mean, he's a pretty interesting character. I think he's got a sense of humor. He's ambitious. He has a weird smile.
That's his nervousness.
Yeah, he got that nervous smile, sharp teeth.
I kind of like Arthur. Like Arthur is dumb, but
He's
I'm
big
reading
dumb.
it. I swear he gets dumber as he
God.
goes on.
That man said, "Where are my powers?" He's like, "Ah, it was in my left hand." And he put it in his right hand. He went
Yeah.
ham.
Yeah, that guy didn't believe him. He's like, "Don't try to bluff."
Yeah, he killed a whole infernal just from switching hands. I was like, dang.
Like that man can be overpowered, but he's just too dumb to do anything with his power.
That man is stupid. the villains in that show are pretty tight too. And what's his name? Benny Maru. I think a lot of the squad captains are interesting, bro. You don't get to see a lot of them in the first season.
Yeah, but with those villains, why do they make me think of the Akatsuki in a way?
I mean, they're pretty similar. They wear cloaks. there are a few very distinguishable ones out of them.
And then they're mysterious in the beginning. But did
Yeah.
we know about the? Yeah, we knew about the Akatsuki in the beginning because of Itachi.
Yeah, you knew about Itachi and was
Kisame.
there strange connections to Orochimaru or no? Maybe I'm not remembering that right.
I think they just said that Itachi left to join the Akatsuki, but then they left it at that until, like, midway through normal Naruto, right? Because they went to the village to find Tsunade, and then Itachi and Kisame just happened to be there or something, right? Something like that. But yeah, they do start off very mysterious because at the time you only see Itachi, Kisame, and the cloaks, but everybody knows that cloak's in trouble.
Yeah, everybody know them white cloaks mean trouble.
That too.
Another one on my list, Golden Kamui. And I don't think you guys have seen Golden Kamui, but you remember in the tier list video, the guy who had the clean lineup, and you said he had double eyebrows.
Yeah.
He's from Golden Kamui.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think, and he was mainly the reason why I put it on the list because he's kind of like the comic relief. I know it's a show where they're going after the Anu gold, which is the Anu are like, you know, like Native Americans, I guess. I don't know what they would be called over in Japan.
The indigenous people.
Yeah, they're the indigenous people, and they had a whole bunch of gold, and I guess somebody knew where this gold was. They got locked up while they was in jail. They ended up like mapping it out, but mapped out through tattoos on inmates' bodies, and the inmates broke out, and he's one of them, and he's called the Escape King. Like, he somehow always gets captured, and he just breaks out through like ridiculous means. Like, he ends up dislocating his parts of his body to break out and just all that, or he just gets into stupid situations. I feel like he's interesting because of that. You don't know who the main character is, I guess, because you haven't seen it, but he's basically known as like Immortal Sugimoto. His name is Sugimoto. He's known as like Immortal Sugimoto because he was in the army. I forgot what they're called, but I guess there was always stuff happening and he would always survive through it, so they started calling him Immortal like that.
Okay.
It's one of those things where like what Flyman was saying about the whole gang in Demon Slayer being together. It's like the whole gang in Golden Kamui with him and then the Anu girl that's leading them around, along with what is his name, Shiraishi, the double eyebrow guy.
Oh, okay.
They all pair up together really well. You guys should see that. I think it's 2 seasons, about to be 3, or it's already 3 seasons.
Okay. Check it out.
Flyman, you still haven't seen JoJo's yet, right?
Oh, still in the first season.
Oh, okay.
I'm still in the 3rd season.
I'm in the 3rd
Okay.
season too.
Dio.
With Jotaro.
Yeah. Joseph is probably definitely the most interesting Joestar for sure.
Yeah, I know somebody who's all the way caught up, and Joseph is still his favorite.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
That's the second one.
Yeah.
Yep. He's a number 2 and 3. Season 2 and 3. But Joseph definitely, he's got a sense of humor. He's a very unorthodox fighting style. He kind of just lets things happen, and he's like, actually, I had this planned all along. And he has this little thing where he'll be like, next you're thinking that. And it's hilarious. Joseph's super funny.
I think he stopped that in season 3 though, didn't he?
He did that one scene. I just saw it. He fought some dude. He fought some weird thing on his arm. And he was like, next you'll be thinking,
yeah.
how I even thought of this. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Gets me every time. And he did that so much.
He always be
It's so
yelling
funny.
too. Be yelling, oh no.
It's so funny just because, like, I don't. It's JoJo's is like a show where it has such like a very distinct style,
Yeah.
and just in the way the characters speak and act and their mannerisms and just
Yeah,
like everything.
it lives up
like,
to the bizarre adventure part.
You're right.
For real.
It's just like bizarre and how they behave and talk and stuff like that.
And the visuals too.
Yeah, and the visuals, it's just funny.
I have about 3 more I can mention.
Go for it.
Hey. So this next one, I could probably skip over it because I don't think you've seen the Monogatari series. Have you guys seen that?
Nah.
It's a pretty long one. It's one of those ones where the airing order and the chronological order are different.
Of course.
Basically, it's it's over the course of the senior year of the main character. Something happens Golden Week, and then everything else in the series is a result of what happened in Golden Week. It's like a supernatural type of show. There's basically a specialist who knows about all these supernatural things, and the way with supernaturals is that they exist because people believe in them. So it's like people believe in vampires, so vampires exist, and a lot of people know about vampires, so that makes it stronger because it's like a popular entity thing. But then if people stopped believing in vampires, the vampires would go away. That's the type of thing it is.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and then people have encounters with the supernatural entities, and then that affects them. And basically, the main character is going about trying to solve these things with people. And then those people end up being the main characters, because it's not like a one-time thing where they show up, he solves it, and then they're gone. They stay around. And some of those, to me, I really like those side characters, but I don't want to go too far into it if you're gonna watch it. It's probably about 90-ish or more episodes in all.
It's not terrible.
Yeah, it's a ton of like different seasons.
Okay.
Yeah, like
I might be inclined,
one season
'cause
is
I
probably
hear a
like
lot
6
about it.
episodes or something.
Okay.
I watched
gotta-
it chronological.
Okay.
I was hated on because I watched it chronological, but I was like, I want to do that. I didn't want to be confused while watching it in airing order. That's just my opinion.
You always find the animes that got the strangest orders.
What you mean?
Fate?
Fate don't have a strange order.
What you mean?
It's just confused. It doesn't have a strange airing order.
Oh, well, I mean the strange, like, overall order of ways to watch.
Man.
Do you have
Y'all
that
just-
Konosuba on your list?
That what?
That Konosuba on your list?
No. Because
Great.
I thought about it at some point, and I was like, oh, I should put that down, and I just completely forgot.
Konosuba is funny, man. I do like the main character a lot, just because he's so stupid.
Yeah, I don't think any of them are more interesting than him. Though.
Yeah,
they're all
he's funny.
interesting together.
Yeah, as a whole gang, they're funny. What else you got on the list? You have one more, I think. Or two?
I got 2 more. I got that reincarnated as a slime.
Who you thought was more interesting?
How is that?
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
He's very OP though.
Yeah, you know he has some followers that are kind of OP.
Mm-hmm.
I think I put him in there because of that.
But he's still somehow the strongest and he's a slime.
And everybody underestimates him. They're like, "Oh, he's just a slime." Then they
He's
get
a
that.
slime girl.
Then they get that hand.
Play with that slime, boy.
Who'd you think was more interesting for the slime?
So I think at first I had it. Like, it's on my list right now. I think I was actually gonna move it down to honorable mention, but then I didn't. But I know at first I was gonna say the ogres.
Oh, you
But
mean
then-
like all of them, or?
Yeah, but I don't know if they're more interesting. There's the little pigtail girl.
I
She's,
think
she's not really more interesting though. I don't know.
I think a lot of the characters, the way they're designed, are very interesting because the main character is just a slime when he's in his truest form. So
You got that the old goblin leader turned bodybuilder.
yeah, man. Once they leveled up, they were they looked like they were on steroids. I like, or what's that one small goblin that he leveled up? But he
The one
didn't
with
grow
the big
that much.
nose.
Yeah, he's funny, but he's low key strong.
Yeah, he pieced up somebody. I forgot who it was.
I forget too. Some knight that traveled the land or something.
Yeah, and they was like, all right, we're gonna have him fight you, and he's like, this little dude, and then he got pieced up.
For all we know, everyone in that show is OP. Everyone is strong in their own right. It's ridiculous.
Even that little wolf.
Yep. That's a fun show, though. You should watch a few episodes, Fly Man. See how it piques your interest.
Season 2 coming.
I'll definitely check it out.
That's right.
My last one is The Rising of Shield Hero.
So we need to watch that.
Yeah, that's a newer one, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's weird, great.
And again, I don't know if
What they look like.
they're
What
more
it's like.
interesting though. I know he basically has his own little party. And his party only has like a small amount of people in it.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, one of them's just a bird that can turn into a human form.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
It's basically a chocobo.
Wait.
Chocobos don't turn into
Chocobos
humans, bro.
Yeah,
What
but
you
in
mean?
terms of how it looks,
Oh,
No. I was say, I know you haven't played none of the Final Fantasies, but you at least know that.
can't speak on the chocobos that way.
but then there's his main partner, I guess. She's like a raccoon girl person.
What's Nuki?
She's
You don't know
basically
about the Tanuki.
I know what a tanuki is. He's basically a person with with like the ears and then the tail. So I don't know if you would call her a tanuki.
Isn't that a kitsune?
No, that's the fox though.
Isn't that a
Oh,
fox?
fuck,
Yeah.
you're right.
Like she's a tanuki person, I guess. Like she literally looks like a regular person, but just has the tail and the ears.
That is what a tanuki is, kind of.
But a tanuki is a whole animal. It's a raccoon dog.
You saw Mario turn into a tanuki.
This is true.
See,
All he did was pick a
Mario
believe.
is an edge case.
What you mean?
Mar-
He's Japanese.
No, he's Italian.
He's Japanese Italian.
Japanese Italian. Man, y'all be funny,
I don't know.
man.
I don't know. My last two didn't need to be there, I guess.
You're right.
I had some honorable mentions though, because I started to, like, my list was actually bigger, and I'm like, man, I gotta trim this down. So I started trying to take out the ones that are just a ton of characters, like One Piece and Naruto.
Mm.
Bakuno has a ton of characters. It's all taking place on a train. Like, if you watch the intro for Bakuno, you just see
You
them
see all the characters.
Yeah,
in their names.
they're showing all the characters with their names, and you're like,
Mhm.
bro, that's a lot of people. But it's pretty good. That's the one I told Flyman to watch because it has the jazz intro.
Yep.
I be liking jazz.
Yeah, then I had a Kame got killed.
Oh right. I look, you forgot about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say it for Night Raid,
Who's that again?
What's that?
the group that he was in.
Oh, that's the name of the group. Okay. I haven't seen that in so long. Low key, that was one of the first animes I've watched. Like, and actually like finished just because I saw that it was short.
My first one was Sword Art.
Uh,
You remember the other Rob at Ball State?
yeah.
Yeah, he was the one who showed me. I don't know if you remember that. He kept telling everybody, "Oh, you gotta watch this Sword Art," and he wanted everybody to watch it.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it if he said that because he looked like the kind of guy who looked like sort of.
I think that was when it just came out.
Yeah, I think he was new at the time as well. Do you like Kirito a lot?
Do I like Kirito?
Yeah.
I mean, he alright.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's kind of bland. But then again, I'm not super fond of a lot of the characters in the show.
I mean, you should watch the later things. Alicization
Yeah,
is
you're right. Alicization.
Alicization is really good, and then Alternative is good. It has nothing to do with Kirito.
Oh,
It's in the Gun Girl world, but it's like
oh, okay.
it's following some other girl.
Yeah. I'm like, wow, they actually had an anime where the kid looks like his actual age. Like, he actually looks 15.
Well, he's
Ichigo,
17.
Ichigo was 15.
Yeah,
And that,
not look.
Jotaro is like 17.
Jotaro, yeah, but JoJo's what you call it, a meme anime. That man Ichigo was for real 6 feet tall, 15 years old, slaying every single Soul Reaper he could, and all the hollows. Doesn't make no sense. Had a full-time job in high school. That man was not 15.
I also had Bongo Stray Dogs in my honorable mention.
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
That's the one where you have the mafia and then you have the detective agency.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The main
I know what you refer to now.
Yeah, the main guy is the guy with the tiger powers.
Mm-hmm. One that I had was Tokyo Ghoul because I recently finished that. I was never too fond of Kaneki. Kind of. I mean, all I want to do is read books.
And he wanted to talk to a pretty girl that read books with glasses.
Yeah. Yep. But
Didn't work out for
you
him.
never trust that. You never trust it. And then, I mean, even as the show kept going, he was just kind of just the same dude the whole time. Not very interesting. I mean, he wasn't the same
I wouldn't
dude,
say
but
the
his
whole time.
his personality pretty
When he-
much stayed the same.
When he
When
went
he-
white hair, he was different.
Yeah. But I still didn't like him a whole lot. Just because then he just became a jerk. He went from being that guy who's just likes to read, super bashful, doesn't say a whole lot, to just a jerk because he thinks he can take on everybody.
See, well, granted, in Route A, the second season that you saw, that's not how
Yeah.
it goes, because
Yeah.
they pulled a full medal.
Yeah. And I know the manga is more accurate, blah, 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 blah. I don't find Kaneki that interesting. He wasn't as entertaining to me as all the other characters, all the other ghouls in the show. Because what's his name? The dude who was an upperclassman or something. He was at the university too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked him more because, I mean, you don't really understand why he's still being a jerk to Kaneki and, you know, his backstory and all that. Everyone else pretty much had something going for them, except for Kaneki. But he did go do that torture scene, which was crazy. And I did feel for him for that. I don't blame him for changing after that. I would too. That was a traumatic experience.
Out there playing that, what is that, 2 Chainz? That I'm Different?
What kind of reference was that? How old are you? That song is so old.
That one got me. That was funny. That was funny. You're funny.
I'm just here.
No, do you got any more?
No, you're not.
I mean, I had more that like just completely removed off. I'd even put into honorable mention. I don't remember all of
What?
them. I think
What?
Yojo Sinki was one. What was that one? I think it's Tanya the Evil. That's the English name. It's called Tanya the Evil. Do you know about that one?
I know.
That's the one where it's like the little girl in the magic army or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and the army she's in is basically like Germany, and they're taking
Yeah.
over everyone.
That's right. That.
Yeah,
I didn't watch it, but I know about it.
I think it was
Did you
pretty
watch-
good.
Did you watch Code Geass?
No,
Oh man, I was gonna say that man Lelouch. That man Lelouch was messed up in the head. but but understanding his whole thought process is very interesting, and how he approached life, and how he approached commanding an army. Very interesting.
I almost wanted to put Tower of God on here, but then I was like, I can't do that because then I'd be going off of the webtoon and not what's
Yeah,
in
you read
anime.
you're already ahead. You've been hip to the game.
But man, that was us talking about side pieces. Great side pieces. I'm talking finest side pieces you could find in anime.
Mashed potatoes with them gravies.
Exactly. But yeah, that was us talking about some side pieces that were more interesting than the main piece. You know, we don't like to cheat on the main piece, but sometimes the side pieces just be too enticing. But hey, yo, it's been your boys with respect to Tilt, and always remember to respect the Tilt.
Big tilt.